Hello, it's me.
Still better than the original.
Hello from the other side. I just landed about an hour ago to sign some autographs and look at that thing. Now I'm here and we're gonna do this thing.
Hi guys. So oh my goodness, what a journey. I have been traveling since 11 a.m. yesterday. So here's the thing, how many people have never been to LA before? You've never been to LA? Delicious. So how many people want to go to LA? How many people are like, great, I'm not going? That's okay. You hear a lot of things about LA. You're gonna hear a lot of, it's just, there's a lot of craziness there. I've seen some crazy things happen there. I've also seen some very lovely things happen there. You know, people think a lot of things about LA. They think, oh, everyone there is like superficial and ridiculous and everyone has plastic surgery, etc. I have not had plastic surgery. I will one day. Especially if we perfect like the invention of installing the tail. Like I'd love a tail. You know what I mean? Like a big, like long tail that's useful, that can wrap around things and like choke someone out. I want my tail, but see, I don't know if it should be a bushy tail or like, because if it was bushy, that'd be weird that I don't have fur anywhere else. Does that make sense, you know? Or else should it be just like a skin tail? Like it's just got, you know what I'm talking about? Halfway in between would be like a porcupine tail. Or maybe it's like, what if I ask for a tail from a genie, and you know how a genie always twists it to trick you? It'll be like a beaver tail. I'm like, great. Now I have to cut holes in all my pants, big holes to accommodate this beaver tail, but I'll build a dam like no other.
And slap people.
So, you know what? We'll workshop it. But you hear a lot of things about LA, but one thing, but I love LA. It's where I've wanted to live since I was a little kid. In fact, what's great about this and what I hope for all of you is that you get to find what you love to do and you latch onto your dream and it's something that you can do for a living and provide for your family and it fulfills that passion, because a lot of people come up to me and they go, man, you don't take breaks. I don't, I work 7 days a week. In the entertainment industry, and they're like, why don't you take breaks? And it's like, well, think about it. What's your favorite cereal? You don't know. You like them all. You like them all? Really? What cereal did you have this week? Which one? Crave. That's a good one. Chocolate-filled little things. It'd be like someone saying, don't eat Crave every day. You're like, but I love that cereal. I love my job, so I love doing it every day. So why would I want to take a break from that? Now you do need a vacation every now and then because you get burnt, you're not burnt out, but you get a little, your tank gets low, your Tesla tank gets low, you gotta recharge it. I'm taking my first adult vacation in 2 months. I've never had an adult vacation. I've not done it. Because I've always been like, I shouldn't go out of town because I'm gonna be working, or I shouldn't do this, I'm gonna be. So, I love doing what I've wanted to do it since I was a little kid. How old are you? 10? That's exactly when I started acting, 10 years old. I did my first show, it was a musical. It's called Westward Ho. But like, not like Westwood Ho. It was like Westward Ho! It was a Western. So I did that and I trained, and I continued to study acting, I continued to get involved. I began working professionally at 10 in theater. And then that moved on to studying in high school, studying in middle school. That led to college where I majored in theater acting, which led to film, which led to producing, writing, directing, which led to finally voice acting, which I've been doing for the past, I don't know, 10 years or so. And so I've been training a long time for this, and luckily it's my dream. Since I was a little kid, when I was gonna go to college, I wasn't gonna go to college. I was just gonna go straight to LA. And my mom's a little small Asian woman. She's 4'10", she's a little tiny firecracker. Not in this business. She is not in the entertainment industry. She doesn't understand how it works. What she wanted me to do, she goes, son, you need to be a doctor, son, a lawyer. You need to make money. You will be poor if you go into entertainment, son. It took many years to show her that that's not the case. For everybody. I mean, it's a very competitive industry. But I've been very fortunate and very lucky with a lot of the amazing doors that have been opened for me from people in my world and around me. So it's been great. It's not only one person. It takes a ton of people. And so it took many years to show her that I could make it. So I wasn't going to go to college. And she goes, if you don't go to college, if you go to LA, you're on your own. That's it, I won't help you. You go to college, I'll take care of your college. I'll cover it. I was like, man, what do I do? Because I really, you're fire, I've got that Haber testosterone going through me. And I'm like, that Haber testosterone helped me grow 3 chest hairs, by the way. It's very impressive. And so I was like, let me think about this. And so I decided to go to college, because I didn't want to. You know what? It was one of the best experiences of my life. How many people here are contemplating going to college? You're about to graduate high school, thinking about it. How many people are not going to go to college? Okay. Well, I will tell you this. College is one of the few places that you will ever meet people that will be long-lasting relationships for the rest of your life, and people that will help you in the rest of your life. When I first moved to LA, I needed a couch to crash on. You know where I crashed for the first week while I was getting my place set up? Someone I met in college. People that I'm working with now, I'm working with a guy right now, I'm meeting with him next week. He and I lost touch after college, we reconnected, and we worked on a project together. He's one of the head writers on that new Thunderbirds show. So you never know where they're gonna go. One of my other classmates, Cornelius Smith, he's a regular now on that show Scandal. So those people, you will run into them in your industry. It's also where you can make the most mistakes, and it's okay. That's where you go to make mistakes. Now, I made a lot of mistakes relationship-wise. That's not where that's supposed to happen. But you live and you learn. And so college is great. College, that's not so great. So if you have a mom, a little Asian mom that's gonna help you out there, oh my gosh, hold on to her. And scholarships help. I got acting scholarships and won awards. So I did that. And then right afterwards, I continued with theater, and I was still working and making movies and commercials and stuff like that, being in TV stuff. And then voice acting came knocking. And shortly, the last thing I did right before voice acting, because I still do on-camera stuff, thing I did right before that was I think it was Barney. That's when Barney hit. I was Mr. Knickerbocker. That was the first time Mr. Knickerbocker had been seen on screen. He's always been sung about. How cool is that? You've never been seen on screen, but they have a song about you. It's pretty awesome. I guess that's how God feels. He's got a ton of songs about himself. And roll up into a club, yeah. I got a lot of songs about me, and I never have to show up. And so then I went into voiceover, and it's been lovely. It's been great. It's been a fantastical career so far, and I hope it continues. And I still have goals and aspirations. And even if you don't go to college, one of the best things that you can do for yourself is make a 1-year, a 5-year, and a 10-year plan. 1-year, 5-year, 10-year plan, and always be striving for those things in that plan. And then once you reach all your goals, let's say you reach your goals before that 10-year period, you make a new plan. It's awesome. It's like a video game. And that'll help you. Those are my little lessons in life. And the reason that I say that is because I know some of you out here are going to say, how do I get into voiceover? I know it because I've been to over 160 conventions, and without fail, there are 3 things that happen at these conventions. 1, someone asked me how to get into voiceover. 2, they asked me, when are we going to work on more D. Gray Man? I don't know. I wish it was today. And the 3rd thing is I know someone's going to wear as a badge of honor that they've stayed up for 36 hours straight at a convention. That ain't no badge of honor. I feel for you. Go to sleep. So why I say all this is because it takes training, it takes experience. You need to act. If you want to get into voice acting, you need to be an actor first. It's so funny when fans come up to me and say, hey, do you ever want to do real acting one day? I say, oh. That's what I've been doing. No, and I still do it. I didn't do it first and switch. All that's like voice acting isn't some special discipline. It's acting. Yeah, been doing it a long time. That's why when I encounter people that are like, this happens all the time because I'll be out and about and you get recognized by at a restaurant or at Disney World or something like that. It's so funny. I was at Disneyland and there's a ton of people going through there every day. It's Disneyland. And from far away I hear, Italian. Someone in the sea of people recognized me. Like it's like salmon swimming up there. Like, I don't know how they spotted me. And they were dressed in their America cosplay. It was very cool. Wrong cosplay, but yeah. So I get asked like, hey, and then people will contact me from my past that I haven't talked to in forever. They'll call me and they'll say like, I don't want to be one of those guys that asks for a favor and I'm waiting for it. What word do you think comes next? But no, leave me alone. So a lot of people ask, so you gotta act, get experience, get training. The reason it looks easy, because people look at, they go, well, it's easy, you just give it. It took 20 years of honing the discipline and the craft and studying different disciplines to get to the point to make it look easy. When you see a band performing on stage and they're doing a fantastic guitar solo, they make it look easy. They make it look like their hands are simply waving over the guitar, right? They're constantly working on their scales, constantly practicing, constantly. You don't see that part. You don't see me waking up at 6 a.m. and getting into my studio and recording. You don't see me working 7 days a week, 12, 13 hours a day. You just see this Haberkorn. But it's hard work. It's hard work to make it look easy. But I want you to think it's easy, so then you're not stressing about it. Let me worry about the stress. So that's what I will tell you about the voice acting thing. So hopefully that answers your question that I know is going to come from somebody in here. That's okay, and what you may find through education, through educating yourself about the industry, is that you may love something else. You may get into it and be like, you know what, I thought I wanted to be a voice actor, but I want to be a director instead, or I want to write it, or I want to be an audio engineer, or I want to sound design. All that is perfectly valid, and you could discover that through investigating voice acting. That's cool too. I'm also an engineer. I work in audio. I do sound design and all that kind of fun stuff because I like doing that. And I wouldn't have discovered that had I not investigated it once I started doing voice acting. So that's something that could come your way. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know you. But I know through education and experience, you will know more about yourself. So right now, current things that I'm working on, Dagashi Kashi. If you guys have heard of that show, it comes out, it's a broadcast show, so it comes out every week at 8 p.m. this time zone, on, I believe, the Funimation channel. It's a show about a kid that, like, his family owns a candy store and he doesn't want to run it, but he's supposed to be doing that. So it's about candies and different snacks in the Japanese world. And I've tried those snacks. The director and I, we get together and we try the Japanese snacks that we actually talk about in the show. Most of them are good. Have you guys had, what is the name of that? Umaibo? Have you ever had that? It's like a giant Cheeto. It comes wrapped, it's like this big, that thick. Hashtag, that's what she, never mind. But it's really good. Umaibo is it depends on the flavor. Fish egg, it's okay. Beef tongue, not good. Skip right over that. So fue ramune, things like that. We've had a lot of dagashi, kashi type things. I'm working on that. There's a lot of stuff I can't talk about. Of course, Fairy Tale is coming out. More Fairy Tale. It's awesome. And then, Star Trek Continues. Yes, Star Trek. If you guys, how many people have never heard of Star Trek Continues? It's okay if you haven't. Raise them up high. If you have not heard of Star Trek Continues, it's okay. How many people, oh, very cool. I hate you. How many people like the original series of Star Trek? You're a fan, okay, oh my gosh. If you love the original series, dudes, Star Trek Continues, StarTrekContinues.com. It has the Rod Roddenberry seal of approval. Rod Roddenberry is the son of Gene Roddenberry. He bears the torch of Star Trek now. He loves it. He came down to our sets. Just to give you a quick rundown of it, You can go online. We have 5 episodes released. We've finished 6 and 7. We're the most prolific Star Trek fan series in existence. Most consistently prolific. There may be guys that have been out longer than us, but no one has produced episodes as quickly as we have.
Okay.
We have made, we're currently doing we are in the midst of an Indiegogo to raise more funds for the next set of episodes. We continue exactly where the series ended. So it's a 5-year mission, but it ended after 3 seasons. We literally recreate the last 2 minutes, shot for shot, of the final episode, because in the final episode, what happens is Spock, McCoy, and Kirk have a little scene, and then they walk into the turbo lift closes, that's the end. We continue it. We shoot it right there, right into the turbo lift, continue it right onto the bridge, camera pulls out, bam, everybody's there. And then we do these original episodes. We have an 18,000 square foot facility called Studio 9 that is exactly like the original studios, Desilu Studios from 50 years ago. We have Grant Imahara from Mythbusters as our Sulu. We've got Chris Doohan was the original Scotty. His son, James Doohan was the original Scotty. His son, Chris Doohan, is our Scotty. We've got Marina Sirtis from Counselor Troy from The Next Generation as the voice of our computer. We've had Michael Dorn, Worf, as the voice for when we did our Mirror Mirror episode. We've had guest stars like Aaron Gray, Lou Ferrigno, Colin from one of the Doctor Who's, Colin Baker was a guest. It was awesome. It was very cool. We have, we have Academy Award-winning Doug Drexler, who does a lot of our special effects. Another person that does some of our special effects are the people that worked on Sharknado. I asked for more shark, but Vic said no. Vic is Captain Kirk. I am Spock. My ears were designed by another Academy Award winner, Kevin Haney. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Our music is originally composed music by a composer from Yale who does original scoring for this thing. Wired Magazine has done a 5-part documentary series on us. We have won international awards for our web series. We've won Telly Awards for this web series. Do I need to give you more reasons to just at least check it out? Okay, if I convinced you that maybe you just need to give it a little look. Rod Roddenberry came down to the sets and he goes, I'm not sure, I can't speak for my dad, but I'm pretty sure he would consider this canon. Rod Roddenberry. There's still someone in the audience going like, if I get around to it. Maybe if I'm clicking around. But check it out. Be sure to check it out. But you know what? It's on YouTube. It's free. Watch it. Check it out. Look at it. It's the 50th anniversary. Why not? Have a little St. Patty's Day celebration. Watch some Star Trek Continues. Wake up in a drunk pool of your own awesomeness and watch some more. Drunk from Crave cereal. I'm working on that. Other things that I'm working on that I can talk about. Recently, Halo, The Fall of Reach. If you guys haven't seen that, I'm in that. What else? Let's see. Gosh, there's so much, I just can't talk about it. I have to be very careful because I'm like about to say certain things and I'm like, oh, I can't say that. I just thought of something. No, I can't say that other thing either. Free. I mean, that came out. What else can I talk about? Oh, Stride. I can talk about Stride. Snow White with the red hair. Raj Shinazad in that. What else can I tell you? I guess Attack on Titan Junior High, I assistant directed that. That was fun. Man, there's so much stuff. On the video game side, that I don't know what I can talk about, so I just better not say a thing. We'll just keep it at that. But it's a lot of fun. I'm getting out here to hang out at conventions with you guys, despite how long it takes to fly there sometimes. So that's awesome. There's a lot of cool stuff coming. Do you guys have any questions that I can answer? Yes. I mean, the very fact that you were asking that question, I mean, you have to just think about it for 1 second. You're gonna know the answer. I mean, I think I think it's not to. I mean, Death the Kid, he's awesome. He's great. He looks awesome in a suit. knows how to handle his ladies. But I'm telling you, Natsu, I mean, just think about how many, the types of bad guys that Natsu's taken on. I mean, like, every episode you're like, oh man, this may be it. Natsu may die. There may be a homicide charge at the end of this episode. He wins. That's what I really like about Fairy Tail, is that even though they have these big fights, they're all pretty different. Like, it's awesome I love that Gagio fight at the beginning. That was a really good fight. And Fairy Tail is just such a cool show. I'm so glad to still be working on it, and it makes me feel a lot better about getting that tattoo. Because it would have sucked working on that show for 100 episodes to get the tattoo that it's canceled. But luckily, we've been working on that show for 5 years. In fact, it's bittersweet. It's cool, but then it's sad at the same time. The Make-A-Wish Foundation, there was a kid that made a wish that he wanted to come see Fairy Tail being recorded. And so that's all he wanted. He just wanted to come check it out. And so before he was there, we didn't know. Maybe this is him calling me right now. Where is Troy? I don't know where Troy is at. The city of Troy. Troy Baker has his own city now? Jeez. I mean, he's good, but... So before this kid got there, we're sitting there talking about, like, well, how do we treat him? What do we do? And then we're like, well, you know what? He doesn't want to be treated differently. He just wants to come in and see what we do. You know, he's dealing with enough stuff. He doesn't need us to you know what I mean? We don't need to... Yeah, so we wanted to give him stuff. We gave him merchandise that I don't even have. As we're giving it to him, I'm like, wait a minute. No, you go ahead and have it. No. That's fine. But, so he comes in, he hangs out, he's very weak. He's in a wheelchair. This is pretty close to the end. And so we're recording, and that's all he wants to do. He just wants to be there, see it, say hello. And we even were like, do you want to get in and voice for an episode? How cool would that be? He goes, nope, just want to check it out. So that was a really cool thing. I mean, Fairy Tail has really touched a lot of people. It's amazing to see how this show gets out there, and internationally people relate to that show, and like, you know, I guess they relate to loyalty of the show and never giving up. And what are some of the things that you guys think? I mean, what, you guys watch it more than I do. The camaraderie, yeah, exactly. And you know what, I relate to it because there's a lot of rejection from women for Natsu. How many times do I have to save Lucy's life before she looks at me as a possibility? I mean, good Lord. I know friends that a guy saved their life one time, and they're like, oh my God, he's my hero. I have saved Lucy's life over 250 times. I feel like that earns at least a date, if not, and or a kiss on the mouth. One, you know? Jeez. That's why I'm like, you know what, Blue? Maybe you and I should get together. You're asking for it, walking around naked all day. Shaking. Just going, Who knows? I don't know if Plu's a boy or a girl. Who knows? I have no clue. But Plu is a cutie. And how weird would that be? You wake up one day, you've got a Plu nose. Oh, that'd be awful. And then you look back, you've got a beaver tail. Man! That plastic surgery doctor's horrible! That's right. Another question. Yes. Oh, and Sword Art Online, when I was Oberon, did I have to do anything weird or a little spicy? Just what was on screen. I didn't prepare like, okay, share me. Lock the door, lights out. None of that. But it was very, I got a lot of attention for that role, but not the good kind of attention. People hated me in that. They liked it so much that they wanted me to die. And I'm like, I didn't animate it. I didn't write it. I'm just doing it, but then I guess you could say that about like a Nazi soldier. He's like, oh, I did not make the orders. I'm just taking the orders. You know, it's the same kind of thing. But listen, that show was huge, but it was fun to work on, and I feel like Oberon had a very fitting resolution. Because as we're working on it, I'm like, man, he better get his in a nasty, mean way. And when he got his, I was like, okay, bravo. Very nice. But yeah, it was cool. Let's see. Yes?
Since St. Patrick's Day, color is green, what would Kuro do since he's green?
Oh my gosh. What would Keroro do on St. Patty's Day? I think what would happen was,
well, if we're really thinking about it, I would take the Caro ball and I would turn myself into 5,000 Caroros and I would go around and spread green cheer.
and then probably make some sort of leprechaun Gundam. Like a Gundam with a beard, a long red beard, and beard. That's right, exactly. How cool would that be if Sergeant Frog came back? Man, I wish that show would come back. I feel like it was ahead of its time. I feel like if that was released now, it would be like the perfect show now with the type of humor that it is. It's very cool. It's one of the only shows where I got to do a lot of improv that stayed in and actually made it. In fact, one of my favorite lines is an improv line. I can't say it now because we have Crave cereal eaters here. But, asked me tonight at the 11 o'clock panel when the Crave cereal eaters are in bed sleeping. Yes?
How do you think Nijima would go about recruiting Natsu into the Shinpaku Alliance?
How would Nijima from Kenichi recruit Natsu? That was the only role where I was like, you know what? I don't think I would love to play the Joker in something, but this is probably as close as it's gonna get for now. So that's why I played that character the way that I did. I feel like, how would he recruit Natsu? I think whatever he would do, he would send his recruitment letter of interest made out of food. And he would say, and if Natsu refused, he would just illustrate the point that he's like, well, Gray said yes. And then Gray would get naked, and then Blue would be like, yes, one more for my team. And then Natsu would be like, put on some clothes, and then Nijima would go, and I go, whoa, I didn't ask for this. And then it would just get really weird and strange. Let's see, yes? Oh, the Funimation podcast. You know what was funny is that was an idea that I came up with years ago because I was like, how do we get the word out to people beyond the people that are already, it's like when we advertise, they're advertising to people that are already gonna get stuff. So that'd be like my mom when I was a kid advertising the dinner for the night. I'm already gonna eat the dinner. You don't need to sell me on it. That's what I feel like it was before, you know, the podcast came up. So I suggested this idea, and they came up with a podcast. It's on YouTube. We did it years ago, and I was the host of it. Well, what happened was then they got another host to compete with me. It's very interesting. This competitor, because he was also the writer of my stuff, and so then slowly you started to see this shift. Because he wanted to be a host very badly. So then you saw the quality of like my stuff that was written for me, kind of do this a little bit. His stuff was like, he's getting to do that really fun stuff. Like, I'm just mopping the floor over here. What's going on? Why is he getting to do stunts and stuff with zombies? And so eventually, they went that direction, and I didn't do it anymore. And then I went and had my own St. Patty's Day for about 6 months and got over it. No, I'm kidding. It wasn't 6 months. It was a year. No. But it was just, you know, that's just, you know, it happens. It happens. They had a lot of different reasons for doing that. You know, I wasn't always available. He actually worked down in the office, like down the hall, so they could just get him and do whatever. I kind of get it. I kind of don't. But it's not up to me. But it was fun to work on when I did. It was a lot of fun. The podcast was groovy. We had a good time doing it. I would love to come back and do it. Who knows? If they need to up their half-Asian demographic, give me a call. Let's do it. Let's see. Yes.
It's actually two-parter because one personal one. Would you ever consider doing Saitama? And second, who is a character you want to do in the future?
Whatever. Yes, I would consider. I'll consider anything. I mean, it takes a lot for me not to consider it because I look at different. I would like that. I would like that from One Punch Man. That would be really cool to be in One Punch Man. But I look at every role because it's an interesting challenge because as an actor you want to be able to do roles that stretch you and things like that. That's why it was fun to work on Rowan from Tales of Exilia and things like that, the sequel. And a role that I'd like to do in the future is anything from the comic book universe, Superman or gosh. Sure, I'll be Deadpool. Maximum Effort, or the DC Universe. I mean, I've auditioned for them dozens of times. So many times I've auditioned for Superman, Batman, Alfred, Joker, Mr. Freeze, Robin, Nightwing, Damian, Bane, Penguin, Spider-Man, Human Torch, Colossus, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Captain America, who else? Hulk, everyone. I've auditioned for everyone. So that's what's so funny is like people are like, man, you book all these roles. For every role that I book, there are, I'm just doing some rough math here, about 1,000 roles I don't book. So I would love to book them all, but then I'd be assassinated. But hey, listen, it'll be a fun ride for a week. Let's see, next question. Yes. Right there, you sir.
Would you ever consider doing more Kenichi?
Sure, I'm down for all these shows. The only show that I don't think I would want to do again is none of them. I love them all. I'll do it all. Because that's the thing is like I will find fun in every show, everything that I do. And if there is an experience that isn't exactly 100% optimal and fun, it's not because of the show necessarily, it's because of the people working on the production end with it. You know, because sometimes people just clash and they don't get along. Like I'm sure Xavier and Magneto experience this often. And you know, Lex and Clark. Who knows? Actually, if you're reading Injustice right now, well, there's a little bit of beef, if you're keeping up with that. I've been reading Injustice since issue 1. And same thing with Walking Dead. I've been reading Walking Dead since issue 1. I'm not some fair weather fan. I've been with that comic since it came out, issue 1. Like, was it 10 years ago? I've been reading that thing. This woman brought me the first issue, and she goes, I asked at the comic book store, it was in Manhattan, I asked at the comic book store, Midway Comics, what the cool latest thing was, and they said, oh, there's this comic called Walking Dead. You should check it out. So I got the first issue, and I kept up with it ever since. So I should have probably bought stock in Walking Dead. I don't think it's listed as Walking Dead in the NASDAQ, though. Walking Dead stock today, up 500 points. You know, the thing about with the zombie, that whole genre of zombie stuff is like, okay, great, you survive. To what end? How long are you gonna, like, I don't think it's, at some point, I think you should just, like, let zombies take you. And, I mean, because, like, what do you survive with? There's no more Best Buys. You can't go on iTunes and get the new releases 3 weeks before they come out in the stores. You can't do that anymore. It's all done. Yeah, there's no YouTube. There's no, you can't get on the PlayStation Network and game. So that's no more Call of Duty. I mean, I don't know. Great, you've survived. I don't know if I could hang with that. In fact, I know I couldn't. But I'm gonna go out in a really awesome way. Like, I'll tie meat all around my body like a meat suit. And I'll just dive headfirst into a pool of zombies and just see what happens. Maybe they're like, because I'm like giving myself over and they're not used to that. So like, I'm like, no, take me! Like I've got ribeye and filet wrapped around me. I did that one time. I had stuff that I was giving away at the autograph tables for free. Like for free, I had these free prints that I was giving away years ago. And I had to beg people to take them. I was like, don't you want these free prints? Like, yeah. It's kind of like this Star Trek Continues thing. Someone was in line today and I go, hey, listen, you should check out Star Trek. I explained the whole thing and I go, are you a fan of Star Trek? Yeah, I'm named after blah, 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 blah. And I go, I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, you know what? It's on YouTube. For you, I'll make YouTube free. Free! Even still, they're like, I got time. I can get around to it. I don't understand. It's like you want to be charged for things because free makes you skeptical. If it's free, you're like, I don't trust it. YouTube, I don't know. I still feel like I should pay somehow. Fine, I'll charge you. I'll put a little ban on there that says $50 to get access to this thing. And they're like, exclusive. But no, it's listen, I like YouTube. I watch a lot of YouTube. I've been watching more YouTube recently. It's like Fail Army.
Yes!
God, people are such... Go to college. Well, hold on. A lot of those things happen while they're on a college campus. And just be smart. The people that made Crave cereal are super smart. Oh man, Fail Army. If you guys haven't seen that, man, some people are just so, like, some of the things that these people do. And I don't know if some of you are involved in some of those things that are on Fail Army, but good Lord, look in the mirror and straighten up. Like, what is going on in your brain? What is happening in your brain where you think, like, I want to show these videos to my clone and say, like, don't be like this. Here are my top ones that spring to mind. You take the medicine ball and you run at each other with 2 medicine balls. Why do you think that is ever gonna go well? Here's the other one. Someone thinks they're a parkour master. The Gap. I blame movies for this. Because when you see the bad guy getting chased by the cop, they leap from building to building, you're like, oh, I could do that. You can't! It's called gravity. And it wants you on its level. When I was a kid, I used to take a plastic bag and slide my arms through the holes. And I would jump off of the couch thinking it would be a parachute. Guess how many times that worked? 0! Guess how many bruises I got?
Many.
Double digits! But it looked cool in front of the ladies. Just kidding, my He-Man action figures is what I meant. But they'll leap from one thing to try to... The other thing, what's another thing they do? Oh, drinking adult beverages that are on fire. Blow them out first. And then that's another thing they do. They'll be skating. Tons of skateboard stuff. I don't know why you think you are gonna be the skateboard master. You're just playing into gravity's hands. And you're also, and maybe a little bit of death. Death's like, you know what, let him skate. A little lonely up here. It's a Tuesday, I need some friends. Go ahead. You don't need a helmet. Some of these things these people do, I am not kidding. These people will skate off the stairs onto the railing thinking they'll slide all the way down like a cartoon. They're gonna slide down the railing and it's gonna be just fine. You know what happens? No babies for them. That skateboard flies right out from under their feet and the railing goes, hello! Hard.
Good.
Then they're on the ground, they've pooped their pants. They're yelling and they're scared and angry. They think they've ripped something. Even though they've hit something that is curved, they think they have ripped something. Ridiculous. Why? Just play Tony Hawk. You don't need to do this stuff. There's those accidents. The other accidents are like, anything with bikes, bicycles, tons of those. Like, they're like, how can I break the sound barrier on this bicycle? That must be what goes through their heads. Because they're going so fast down a hill with no helmet. It's like, my head's gonna do an impression of a melon today. Like, what is going on? What's another one? Swinging on a stick attached to a rope over a lake. That's another one. They love doing that. And the rope is just like, great, I love the attention. No one's touched me in a long time. And so they swing out on the rope, their foot gets wrapped up in the rope, they slam into the tree, vomit. That's how you want to spend your time, I guess. But then I blame the commercials that are like, put down the remote control and go outside. When you go outside, these are the things you do! What are some other things that people do?
Scaring people.
Oh, scaring people. Yeah, scaring people. Like moms. People love scaring their moms. When I was a kid, it was the reverse. I was a little kid, I was a single parent home, and my mom would go, she's like, I'll be right back, I'm gonna go get something. She goes into the hallway, and it's dark into the bedroom, it's dark, it's pitch black. And I'm waiting for my mom to come back, because I'm like, I gotta fire up some more E.T. I thought we were watching E.T. together. She didn't come back. It's like 5 minutes. I'm like, Mom? Then all of a sudden I hear, I'm like, and she goes, I'm just playing, son. That's how you play? You make your son, you give your son a fear of abandonment, and you make him fear the dark. That's playing. The other thing she would do is she'd be like, she'll deny all this, by the way. She'll go, I'm going back to Vietnam, son. Oh, well, when are we going? And not you, son. You have to stay here. She did this. I can remember, I see it in my head. And she goes, not you, you have to stay here, son. Where will I stay? I don't know, son. Like, you're going back, when are you going to go back to Vietnam? Next week, son. No! Because, and then when I'm crying, she's like, I'm kidding, son. CPS is in the background. Take those notes and make her pay retroactively. Note to self, get her on a skateboard. But anyway, next question. Yes.
Me?
Uh-huh.
Okay, earlier you were talking about how God feels. I want to know, how does it feel to be a god? You are Vimana.
Oh, and Smite. Yes, I'm a couple things in Smite. That's, you know what? When I saw that character, it was difficult because I'm like, please don't beat me, please don't beat me. Because it's so hard, because like, what do you do for a baby? Like, you know? But it was fun. It was fun to, you know, Sabat was the director on that. He was a great director working on that game. It's also how I felt with Sergeant Frog, because I was like, what does an alien frog sound like? What am I supposed to do with that? I was scared, because I was like, everyone wanted that role. Everybody. It was a big deal. It was 323 episodes, you know? And so when I auditioned for it, I was like, well, here we go. We'll see what happens. And luckily it turned out, but Smite's a lot of fun. It's on the consoles now, which is groovy. I dig that. Yes? Oh, how did I prep for the Twincest in the host club? Listen, it takes a lot to freak me out. I have done performances on stage where I have been naked, where the only people on this side of the audience were my parents. It takes a lot to freak me out. It was a show, it was the world premiere of this show where I played twins, and one of them has like a really nude scene at the beginning of Act 2, like full, like monologue, here we go. And audience here, no one on this side except my mom and stepdad. And I was just getting to know my stepdad at this time. And so, because I can see him out of my peripheral. And out of my peripheral, I just see. And so then after the show, my stepdad comes up to me and he's like, hey. And I'm like, hello? And he goes, yeah. That happened. And I was like, yes it did. But for, here's the thing about when you work on in voiceover, typically, not with prelay shows, like I'm working on a show right now where it's prelay where they animate to us and we record with the rest of the cast. You get the scripts and storyboards ahead of time. more often than not, you do not get these scripts ahead of time at all because they don't want the scripts to leak out, etc. Especially like with Call of Duty, you got to show up. But the anime, especially, you show up and you get the script right there, so there's no prep time. So when I see it on the screen and I see what's going on and I see the close relationship between Kaoru and Hikaru. Listen, I don't have siblings. Maybe if I had siblings, maybe that's how I'd behave with them. I don't know. I tend to lean towards the idea that I probably wouldn't behave that way. But I don't know. I don't have a twin. You know what? Some people really like their brothers. And if you feel like when you're eating cookies, you need to feed your brother the cookie, but your hands are full, and so the only place you can give them the cookie is from your mouth. If that's what you need to do, good for you. I don't think I would do that, but I don't have a brother. So I will reserve that until that time happens. Son, what's up, Mom? I'm at a con, I'm at Shuto. I am pregnant, son. I'm gonna have a brother? Yes, son. Yes, this is your fault. Oh, Mom. Was it because I was talking about a brother this past weekend? Yes, son. It made me anxious, so I had another one. So I'm gonna have a brother 18 years younger than me. Yes, son. Actually, I'm gonna be 19 this August. Anyway, let's see, next question. Yes. Working on D. Gray Man was a lot of fun because I remember being cast for that. I didn't audition for it. Sabat just approached me and said, I want you to direct this show called D. Gray Man. And he was telling me about the show, and he says, I think you'd be really good for it. And I loved working on it. And then as he's walking away, he goes, oh, also I need you to play Alan, who's the lead. And so that was a lot of fun to cast that show and to work on it as long as I did, because we worked hard on it. I worked really hard casting it. And actually with, oh my gosh, his name just slipped right out of my head. Travis's character. Conda, we went through like 4 Condas before we got to Travis. And there's stuff out there. Chuck Huber was Conda for a pass. There were a couple other people that tried it out. Oh, so long ago. But I would love to do more. I mean, Viz got it. We'll see what happens. It's not a reboot, so I imagine they would contact me and reach out and let me know that we're gonna work on more. I would totally do it, because it was such a great show, and I love that kind of sci-fi fantasy realm, and I'd love to revisit it. It's very cool. And I got to play the Millennium Earl for a volume, so that was fun too, to do that voice. Let's see, question? Yes. Yeah, uh-huh.
Going back to YouTube for a second, how did the whole experience with Hot Pepper Gaming go for you?
Say that one more time?
Going back to YouTube, how did the whole experience for Hot Pepper Gaming go for you?
Oh, Hot Pepper Gaming. I'm a fan of Hot Pepper Gaming, and I think I reached out to them just to see if they would be interested in working together on an episode, because I love video games, and I don't like hot peppers, but I like their channel. And so if you haven't heard of this concept, Hot Pepper Gaming is the type of thing where people review current, or any type of video game, but while they're reviewing it, they have to eat a hot pepper and review during that. You can eat any hot pepper you want. I had a habanero. I don't do well with spicy. It's on YouTube. I don't like hot peppers like that. I like a little spice, and that's about it. My spicy is like, was there some cinnamon in that? It's a little spicy. This was hot. I will never do it again. I love those guys. They're awesome. I love what they do. But when I ate that pepper, I mean, I really was shaking. My whole body turned into glue. And I thought something was wrong, because I'd never shaken like that before. And oh my God, it hurt so much. It hurt so much. Because I thought, like, because it would come in waves too. It would be really, really hot, and then it'd be like, okay. Then hot, I'm back. And then we'd go in like, here comes part 3, the revenge. And so it hurt. It really hurt, and it ruined the rest of my day. Like you feel like you've had motion sickness for the rest of the day. I had to cancel my meetings. I had to just go home and sleep and just let the body do its thing because it hurts so much. But it was cool to do. I reviewed the latest Call of Duty game, and it was fun to watch other people do it. One guy came down from Canada to do it. They did this in LA. He came down from Canada to do it, and usually you have to go about 2 minutes, 2 to 2.5 minutes before they give you any kind of help like milk or things like that. This guy got like 1.5 minutes in, but the way he said, he goes, "Give me the milk." The way he said it, you knew like, give the man the milk. Like something's wrong with him. So I felt kind of bad for him because he came all that way and he kind of like, did 1.5 minutes. I did the full time. But it was cool to see other people do it. And everyone, it's so funny because everyone's laughing before they go. Everybody think, oh, hilarious, their fan. So funny. You do hot pepper. You will make you cry. You a white man. And so, but then when they go and do it, whole different story. And it hurts. Because everyone, the reason you have that reaction to hot peppers is because we are all allergic. So that's an allergic reaction. That's what you're having. So I tried to take some Benadryl, stuff like that. It didn't matter. The habanero's like, what is this? Get out of here. Bread? Milk? Like it did. Oh my God. The only thing that helped were the fudge pops from the freezer. Those helped with the heat. Then I got really sleepy. Anyway. Next question. Yes.
Going into fairy tale or the Endless Arc, what was your reaction when you found out that Lasagna was coming back?
Oh, lasagna! Yeah, I love me some lasagna. When I found out lasagna was coming back in Fairy Tale, I thought, hey, cool, what else could happen? I really wanted to, we're doing that arc right now where Igneal comes into the picture. That's what I've been waiting for. Lasagna, okay, great. My heart, I've imprinted on Clue, so it doesn't matter. But it was kind of fun to see her. Igneal's where it's at. And I went in and I met the voice actor for Igneal, like, I think it was 2 weeks ago or last week, and because I didn't know who was going to do it. And we finally met, and it was pretty cool. He's a talented guy. Let's see, next week, how time is it? Oh! Hold on, let me check my little... 2 to... Oh. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3. I'm 3 hours behind, so I'm doing some math. Hold on. Yeah, but there's something on my watch. I'm wiping something off my watch. It's got my watch. I can take one more question, and then that's the end of the panel. Oh my God, yes, ma'am. Ian, right? How are you, my man? What's your question? You'll be the final question. Ling or Death the Kid? Who would win in a death match? That's a simple answer. Death. Death would win because Ling would be busy eating. And also it helps when your dad is death. When you've got a little nepotism in that area. Do you know what nepotism means? So what it means is like, if your dad runs a company and then like there's a position that you're totally not qualified for, but you get that position somehow. Nepotism. I've seen it happen a lot. It makes me wish I had like 50 dads. Like I'd love a dad at Warner Brothers. I'd love a dad at Sony, Fox. Make that happen. Okay, guys. We're gonna have a blast this weekend. My next panel, I think, hold on, let me consult. Oh, my 11 o'clock panel. Okay. 11 o'clock panel. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Listen, I may have had a little bit of crave for that 11 o'clock panel. Do not judge me. It's 18 and up. All cravers have to go to sleep. You should be in bed by that time. 11 o'clock? Come on. Whoa, what's your bedtime? You don't know? Are you trying to be hard right now? I don't know my bedtime. I go to bed when I feel like it. I look at that pillow, I go, get out of here. Maybe I don't want you tonight. Nightlight, what'd you say to me? I'll turn you on when I'm ready. Yeah, I got Mario Kart bed sheets. What? I'm Yoshi. He's got a happy pillow? It's good. I love sleeping with blue cats. That's the way to do it. So, all my cravers will be in bed, but if you're 18 and up, come on, let's do this. Thank you guys so much. Peace be